Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Our guest today is Kamil. So Kamil, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us where you live and what you do.
All right. Thanks, Dan. So my name is Kamil Zawadzki, and probably the ski you hear gives me away. Born and raised in Poland, though I've been all over for the past couple of years. Active commercially for 15 years now, and except for the temporary juvenile positions I've done, naming the few, I've been a bouncer, I've been a summer camp crew, staff for kitchen. I did a bunch of other gastronomy, bartending, waitering, cleaning and industrial cleaning. My favorite spot is London, Victoria. I did some of the construction, drywalling, and sanding. And all of those jobs made me realize I still want to do tech stuff. And I've always been doing tech stuff, and I've been teaching myself to do tech stuff since I was a kid. However, those were, very like easy jobs you can take on and just do. You don't need to graduate, and you don't need to have like a social proof to take on a big job. You can just basically do them over time, over holidays or something. And I've always been self-employed, except for the previous stand, which some of them were contracts, some of them were not, to be honest. But hey, entrepreneurs do a bunch of different stuff, so I think the audience of this podcast will get it. I started as a webmaster, freelancing, so design and development. I was a frequent UK traveler, so it's always been from zero to hero, no funding, just like a professional service provider, nothing of your serious A, B, C, and evaluation of a unicorn. I'm just a horse. That's all good. We are happy here. But I've been a serial co-founder, so Web Chef software company is the first dev shop. It's more of your like fleet management, logistics, and manufacturing software. The second one is Authentic Digital. It's London-based. We do digital products for highly regulated industries. And the third one, the fresh one, is Gate Institute, which is a foundation to help, smaller companies to get out there, to be more international, to exchange knowledge and see how much benefit you can get from sharing your experiences, because those can be very helpful for other people out there. So I like to get my hands dirty. I import damaged vehicles from US and bring them back to life. My favorite is Honda S2000, trusted vendors here, and I love to work manually, to the contrary of my day-to-day intellectual challenges. So yeah, that's me, Dan.
Awesome. Well, I just love to learn more about your background. So in terms of getting into the software and tech side, what made you actually want to go and pursue this career?
It was never a decision for me. It was kind of happened because my first commercial website was for my principal at like a secondary school. He was also a driving school owner. So I made a website for him, and this is my first commercial one. So it was like $100, yay, but still quite interesting. And then when I was a gamer, I've always been a gamer. I still like rock my Steam Deck like red to those days because I get to travel a lot. It's perfect Steam Deck condition. So it was never a matter of choosing to be. I've always been like in softwares. Commodore 64 when I was six, and this was like some of the first loops were happening over there. For me, it's always been natural. I think it's like the only stable thing in my life that I've always been tech related. And I did this in high school. I did this through my college. Like first professional job was also. So I don't know. It's like it's always been my thing. I always been this nerd, want to do things differently, and been fascinated by stuff that normal I don't want to say normal people, but like where the majority of people were not interested in, right? Nobody was interested in computers in 1995. They were not cool.
For sure. I guess how did you go? Well, I guess yeah. I mean, that's awesome, right? That you were in secondary school and you built like a website for your teacher. But how did you go from that to actually saying, "Hey, listen, like I want to take this and create like an actual business"?
It actually was kind of easy. I was even helping my teachers in like high school. There was a big thing about reinstalling like operation systems. They didn't know how to do it. So I was just like helping them, and they were like so surprised. It came so easy to me, and those things came easy. Tech stuff comes really easy for me, which is not a brag. It's about I can take this and help other people that are struggling with tech. And it started with like small jobs, but then it turned into a scale because the bigger problems I was solving, the bigger jobs came my way. So the bigger jobs comes your way, you need a team, right? So this basically turned into helping people like with tech, which comes naturally to me, and I try to pass this on to my team. And of course, at this stage, my team is like better in doing this than I am. However, when I hear like 5 different voices in different directions, I can say that, guys, this is not going to align where the clients wants it to align. So you need to kind of pivot so we meet at the same crossroads with the client. So that's how it kind of naturally evolved into a business.
For sure. And obviously, that you mentioned earlier that you're based in Poland. There's so many good dev shops and so much tech talent in Poland. So how do you kind of stand out from your competition?
I need to address this that recently a software development competition was won by a Polish dude, and he actually won with ChatGPT specially trained model, which is very cool to mention if you're asking it. So yes, tech scene in Poland is massive. The talent is there. However, I may say that some of the companies specialize in providing engineering skills. They specialize in providing they're like, I don't want to say body shops. Some of them are, and this is not what I do. I don't understand this model. I've never understood this model. I like myself, I rather we take the skills of our team and adopt tech and help people. We obviously, if there is a need for a bunch of like engineers to help solve an enterprise problem, I understand it. You solve other people's problem. This is not what we do. We are more of a business-oriented and tech-second company. Not saying that this is better or worse from 500 people companies that deliver engineers, because this is also helping other companies meet their goals and challenges. This is just not us, and the way we differentiate ourselves is actually through this. We focus on the business side and then apply the technology second, and then we gather people that like-minded. That's why we discovered the power of brands. So you would have a different approach to today's conversation. You would have a different approach to manufacturing and assembly of ejection chairs from jet fighters to a tokenization of real estate. That would be totally, I don't want to say your blue collar and white collar, but kind of. So we discovered the power of brands, and this kind of bounded our teams to work toward the same goal. Yeah.
Makes
That would
sense.
be it,
So,
Dan.
yeah, for sure. So I guess in terms of looking at things from like a business side, so do you guys focus like on certain verticals? Like, what does that look like from that perspective?
So okay, so we know we're good in fleet management and logistics, right? So we focus on those verticals, and we know the pains and struggles of a fleet manager. Like, okay, you've got, for example, 200 vehicles or even thousands of vehicles, and it's not in Austin. You're gonna get a seasonal tire change because hey, there is no winter in Austin, not a real winter. If there is a snow in Austin, you just like shove your car into the garage and that's fine. It's gonna pass, right? But here you can get a couple months of snow, and there's a big thing about seasonal tire change. And imagine that you have 1,000 cars with 4 wheels each, and then those tires are scattered across like workshops all over the country, and you need to navigate the logistics. You need to categorize the tires. You need to know that the tread is very important. So we know those things, right? So we can relate to the business side, and then we can relate to the tech side, because those also need to be on point, right? So knowing the domain gives us leverage, right? The same with manufacturing, the same with finances.
Yeah, makes sense. So in terms of like, obviously, I mean, you and I connected here in Austin during South by Southwest. So I'm curious, like in terms of like growing your business, has that been like the best channel going to conferences like here in the U.S., like other methods? Like, what's been the best way to actually go and acquire clients and grow your company?
Yeah, so we are at the stage where we actually had never had to do this. Yeah, because now we are at like 30 people, very committed individuals, and I've been lucky enough to be free to do the business development thing, right? So, and remember, we've just started really. So we've been doing software for 15 years, but we haven't been building our sales or marketing departments at all, right? So this is like a new thing for me. We've been doing this for like 1 year. Conferences are amazing experiences for South by business wise. No offense, Austin. Well, it doesn't bring me any business. Gives me great people though. So great people, great relationships. Shout out to Fred Schmidt. Really amazing crowd. Something special business wise. Everybody's about startup investments. I haven't seen a project in those conversations, to be honest, but maybe because I'm a weak networker, maybe because I'm just a rookie. That's fine. However, it's been my second time to Austin, and we already discussing with my this time around. I was here for 6 weeks, and we are discussing the same with my wife, because we had amazing time business wise. Adventure. However, this is being an entrepreneur, right? It's an expensive adventure. Other events, yes. If there is like so I've learned a few things about events. If you have a product, yeah, take a booth, go to a like big ass event. That's fine. Makes total sense. If you're doing professional services, no. Get an attendee ticket for a not your industry event. Meaning, if I'm in tech, I want to take an attendee ticket and go to fleet management convention. And I can be there walking around with my cheap ass attendee ticket and generate more business than the $10,000 booth at whatever.
Exactly, 100%.
For professional services. If there's a product, of course, go to a Singapore FinTech Festival, spread out your amazing product and get thousands of leads. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, like, but professional services, this is what we've learned that works for us. But we are doing a pivot for we're building some products as we speak.
For sure. And I guess when it comes to managing your team, I mean, do you guys all like work from the office or remote? What does that kind of look like?
Yes, so we work from offices. We are like kind of split between London and Krakow, Poland. And so for London, we usually do like short meetings, short workshops, and even if we are like, and for Krakow is, for me personally, it's super easy because I've got like 10 minutes on bike. Like this is amazing for US audience. It takes me 10 minutes to get to my work. It doesn't take me 2 hours. It doesn't take me 2 hours on my car. It takes me 10 minutes on my bike. So it's great. Though Austin downtown has the same vibe. You could be doing 10 minutes to work, and especially it's an amazing place to bike. But the rest of the US, from what I experienced, or maybe Manhattan, whatever. Anyways, yeah. So we have an office. We are using like a WeWork when we go to London. It's super easy. But the main, I meant say R&D is in Poland. We have some frequent staff coming into the office. I believe the being in the same space is amazing. I hope this. Okay, obviously from running a business perspective, doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Sorry.
Makes sense.
I mean, like from a digital, like what we do is like, okay, providing digital services. having a physical office, it's not the wisest choice in terms of financials. However, company is not only about financials. That's why we have our office space, and I guys reach out. I love to show Krakow around in London as well. Reach out. We can have a pub crawl or whatever, really. Plus, I can show you my office then.
Sounds good. Awesome. So obviously now we're kind of halfway through 2025. So what are you guys most focused on here for the rest of this year?
Rest of the year. So we've been testing the events and marketing materials for the past 1.5 years, and then like, okay, this was a waste of money, this was a waste of time, and basically this doesn't resonate. We need to pivot. Now we have a downtime because everybody's on holiday. What's the weather in Austin, by the way?
Like 100 degrees
There we
Fahrenheit.
go.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
not sure about Celsius, but yeah.
Yeah. It's bad.
It's hot. Yeah.
Exactly. So the weather here is perfect now. It's pretty much what you have in March, April, kind of.
Yeah.
South by time, obviously. So, but everybody's on holiday. Is everybody's on holiday? I don't have much to do in terms of the external. There's still plans to internally. But we are getting ready for Q4 2025 with our very tailored offering because we've managed to scope it to like 4 campaigns that we bring the most value. We are, loading our marketing guns, but not to be spammy, but to actually bring value. So we don't want to be just sending out information that we are awesome. No, we have some free demos to give away. We have some free products you can test, and some other freebies. You can actually understand how the technology can help you with your business. And yeah, this is the goal. This is the goal.
Awesome. So if you could go back in time to before you started this business, what is the one biggest piece of advice that you wish you knew?
Biggest piece of advice. It's super hard, Dan, this one. Biggest piece of advice. Okay. Oh yeah, that's easy actually. Always have a plan B. Always have a plan B. So imagine the worst thing that can happen. And this is being a lawsuit. This is being production deployment go bad. Like always have a plan B. But if people are not dying and money is not going missing, don't get stressed because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't help you at all. Those are the 2 main things. I say, okay, people not dying, money's not missing. Everything else is fixable.
That's good advice. So if somebody's watching this show and if they wanted to work with you, wanted to reach out to you, do you mind sharing your website or social media? I guess best ways to get in contact.
I'm active on LinkedIn. Fun fact for business cards, they're not relevant in the UK, EU because of the ESG and prints and emails and save the paper. Of course, there are different cards, but they're very, very popular in Asia still, to whatever country you go to. I would say US is mixed, but LinkedIn is my only social media. I don't have Instagram. I don't have TikTok. I have only LinkedIn. Really, for real. It makes me a healthy person, I would say.
No, it's good. Awesome. Well, Kamil, thanks so much for your time today. And anybody who wants to reach out to Kamil, find him on LinkedIn. And yeah, thanks again.
Yeah, amazing, Dan. Cool conversation. Take